all of these places have to be cleared and free of traffic movement. If we can do all of that, it will not solve all the problems, but at least it will give alternatives, better and quicker alternatives for movement of traffic in and around Victoria Island and Ikoyi, which is the part that we're needing to deal with there. Like I said, it was a case of we all rushing out yesterday after a very long holiday, after a very long weekend for 4 or 5 days. People needed to get to work immediately. People needed to get back to school. Our businesses needed to start. And this part of the city is like what we call the CBD, which is the business district. And so, because of the inadequate communication, and I would take responsibility, ineffective communication because they had started even before then. So you just assume that people are aware. No, you have to continue. Communication is enforcement. You have to continue before people now make alternative plans to be able to use other routes and other corridors out of it. And so one of the things that I'll also be advising a lot of our citizens is that this kind of thing has also happened in another form. Let's think out of the box. Let us now know that if you don't have a business to do in Victoria Island in the next 2 to 3 weeks, conduct your business via social media, via telephone, via meetings, Zoom meetings and online meetings, and plan ahead, so that if you don't need to come and visit somebody here, please, you don't have to come, right? If you don't have a meeting that you must, ensure that you need your physical presence, think out of the box. It was something similar that we've had during COVID, where you can have restricted movement in some part of the area for just, a couple of weeks and be able to plan your journey time and be able to, and see what are the alternatives, you can bring about, ensure that you can communicate, you can do, work from home, work remotely, just to ease, the traffic and just to ease all of us coming out. If you don't need to come out at 7 o'clock, wait till 10 o'clock. Let the people that need to come out at 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock, let them come out. You defer your time 2-3 hours, so they can see that even the approach from Marina to Victoria Island is free. There's no, on the counter on this bridge, there's no movement at all. We're also thinking of another alternative. Can we do a counter flow from here? We're looking at that, but we also need a lot of excavations. We're going to break a lot of things, and we don't know if that also will be fully effective, but we will consider that in the next 1 or 2 days and see the effect of a counter flow, using all of the traffic information that we currently have. So one of the things that I want to assure is that you are going to see a lot of last mile officers, on the road. You are going to see a double number of last mile officers on the road. We're calling them from other parts of the city so that they can make presence here. And like what we did in November, December, they worked till very late, at night. Yesterday, I think it was because it was heavy rain around 11, 12 o'clock. That's why they were off the road. But we'll ensure that, since some of the rains are back, also that they can work till very late, early hours of the morning, and ensure that, people get home, go home safely. And to also appeal to our citizens that it's not the time for you now to start driving recklessly, to start driving against, traffic direction in one way. And these are some of the little things that patients, will help us solve. And so while we take responsibility that fine, this has happened, we needed to do this, our citizens also have the responsibility to ensure that they plan and they obey, traffic management, and all of the signs and signals that we have. So I'll stop here and let you ask 1 or 2 other questions just for clarity and clarification. Thank you.
Yeah, Your Excellency, just to quickly for Lagos yesterday, people are walking now. They passed through this stretch yesterday. People are going, the post from the office going home. Some of them is they 2 o'clock they get to their house. So what made you want to pass through?
Well, it's the same message which you heard. I taking time to explain what led to it. It's not a message. It's a solution that we're about. Yesterday's past is really how do we ensure that it doesn't happen today, next tomorrow, and next month. And that's why I'm out here in the morning to come and see things for myself and to explain, take responsibility, apologize, but let us now be able to move forward. This was intended to solve a disaster that will happen at some point. Like I said, they've had this contract for over 3 years. We've been managing the bridge underneath the water. They've had it for a long time. But like I said, there is never a best time to solve a difficult problem like this. anytime you do it, it will be discomfort. But let's bite the bullet. Let's work together as a citizen, and we'll all come out, this better. Yes.
The Honourable Minister of Works put out a message late last night, early this morning, saying that the bridge should be opened immediately, and that almost caused some confusion across Lagos, because on getting here, like we can clearly see, that's almost impossible. So how do we reconcile that?
Well, I mean, with all due respect to my brother, my friend, the Honourable Minister, we are the ones on ground right here now, and you can see for yourself. It's not about name mention or blame game or anything. We are in the same government, and we know that the intendments are good intentions. Like I keep saying, it is because there is a disaster for over 3 years. If you have a contract for over 3 years and you're not able to fully implement the thing, if anything happens, you will be one of the people that will say that why did you not take this difficult decision? Everybody wants a bridge. Nobody wants it in front of his house. That's always a but. If you take a decision that we need to build a bridge, we have to build a bridge, irrespective of if it's in front of your house. That's the solution. You come in here, you see that they've started in the past 2-3 days. They've done a lot of excavation. In fact, we're looking at water right underneath. So even for them to attempt to want to bring that back, it will take 2 weeks. So you cannot, a bridge is not a place where you just put sand and people will roll and just, no. What if it keeps it again? What if cars now go right into the water? So like I said, we are the ones on the ground. We will advise the minister, with all respect, we'll advise him, we'll tell him what we'll find out. As much as I, as the governor, want this bridge to be open last night, today, the reality on ground is that we need to get to fix this road, do this problem, solve this problem once and for all. Because I do not want to be held accountable for a disaster that might still happen, further down the line. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, can I flash
You just put sand and, no. What if it keeps it?